Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network. Okay, everybody, welcome back. And I am joined by the one and only Nancy Javaras. Nancy, let me explain to people a little bit about you in case they never heard your show before. Nancy is an integrative health and weight loss coach and a specialist in digestion, weight loss. Nancy is a corporate wellness speaker and also a Golden Light healer. She helps her clients heal their gut and detox from heavy metals, from toxins and toxic emotions as well. She gives her clients a roadmap for healing with with organic food, herbal teas, supplements, essential oils, EMF blocking coasters, sound therapy, and many lifestyle tips to detox and heal. And she uses an intuitive approach to help her clients heal. Nancy, love having you on. How are you today?
Good, good. Thanks so much for having me, Casey.
All right. Well, Nancy, let me start with tell me about some of the health concerns that you address in your practice.
Yes, so anything to do with digestion or elimination, so bloating, gas, diarrhea, heartburn, constipation, IBS, ulcerative colitis, which I had for 19 years and healed myself, diverticulitis, diverticulosis, anything to do with the colon, anything to do with the gut, anything to do with the gut-brain connection, so brain fog, anxiety, minor depression, not major, but minor. So anything like that. So really anything to do with the immune system too, because the gut is so involved in the immune system. So people that have chronic issues, chronic infections, chronic health issues of any kind. That's what I'm kind of a health detective, and I get to the root cause of why it's happening, and then I give them a roadmap for healing.
Gotcha. And by the way, I love you told me it was Boston in Vacky. I love your backdrop. It's great because that's where you're from.
That's right. Born and raised, Boston. I'm sure you can tell it by my accent at all.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, Nancy, tell us about some of the health coaching programs that you offer.
Yeah, so I have a 6-month health coaching program, and that's designed for somebody that has a bunch of different health issues, and they've been to a bunch of doctors, they've had them for a long time, and they're frustrated because they just haven't been able to heal their body, whether it's something with the gut, digestion, elimination, whether it's something with their immune system, they just are frustrated and they want to heal themselves naturally with herbs and supplements and food and things like that. So that's a step-by-step program that I work with people weekly to get to their root cause of what their issue is and work with them on the roadmap for healing. And I give them all the guidance and support they need. And then I have a 1-month health coaching program that's kind of the same thing, only it's a shortened version. And that's for people that are more take charge, do it yourself
Right.
people. They don't need a lot of hand holding, but they just said, tell me what to do. Work with me for a month on it, and then I'll do it the rest myself. So those are for more do it yourself, take charge type of people that don't need a lot of support. And that's great for them. And then I have a 14-day weight loss and detox program that's gluten-free, dairy-free, sugar-free. And that's been really and then I have a skinny bride program for all those brides out there that would like to lose 5 or 10 pounds before the wedding day so they can be, look good in their bridal gown. And then I have a heavy metal detox program that's designed to detox out heavy metals like lead, arsenic, mercury, aluminum, things like that that should not be in our bodies. And they're very toxic. So it's a 7-week program, and then people can repeat it again and again and again. And then I have a root cause program, the root cause consult, and that's a 90-minute appointment where I meet with people for 90 minutes on Zoom to determine exactly what is the root cause of their health issue or health issues, plural. So I get to the root cause and then I give them a roadmap for healing, and then they can either choose to do my 6-month program and work with me, or they can just do it on their own. It's up to them.
That's the detective program, right?
That's right. I'm a very good health detective. Yes. I mean, I have to do everything. And right starting at birth, right up to present day.
Okay.
And then Detox program, which is my flagship program, which is very, very popular. And that's what I'd love to talk about today, because so many people don't realize the importance of cleaning out the liver on a regular basis, because there are toxins everywhere. They're in the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat. They're absolutely everywhere. And our body is being bombarded with all kinds of environmental toxins for the first time in the history of the world at this level. And so people need to clean out their liver on a regular basis. And so I'm here to build awareness for that and to help people restore their health. Because when they have a healthy liver, they're going to have a healthy immune system, a healthy gut, healthy lungs, brain, heart, everything. Everything is related to the liver.
Okay.
So liver's not healthy, people can't be healthy. So
Gotcha. So tell me what's different about your liver detox program.
right. Well, most people just say, here, take these herbs, take these supplements, and have fun, and that's it, or here's some recipes. But I go a lot deeper. In my program, it's very comprehensive. I include 25 short videos all about all the different organs that are related and affiliated with the liver. So I have colon cleansing in my program, in the liver detox program. Also, I have kidney cleansing on how to detox the kidneys, which most people totally ignore. And that's the second most important pathway for getting toxins out of the body. Number one is through stool, through our colon. But the number two pathway for detox to getting out water soluble toxins is through the kidneys. And if the kidneys are clogged or if they're not at full throttle, that is a very, very, bad. So a lot of people have kidney issues and they're just starting it, so they don't realize that it's happening. So that's why it's really good to clean out the kidneys. And then I also include lymphatic drainage information on how to clean out the lymphatic system to make it activated to work, to pull out all the toxins and pick them up from all the cells and deliver them down to the liver to be processed. So, and then also a ton of lifestyle tips, which is critical because the liver can't detox if it's stressed out. If our autonomic nervous system is in a fight or flight mode, we won't detox. And a lot of people are in that fight or flight right now.
Yeah.
They're really for their lives away from that tiger of stress, that tiger of stress is chasing them at work. Then they go home and the tiger of stress is chasing them at home. And no matter where they go, they're surrounded by that tiger and they just can't get out of that. And so I help them very strongly on how to get out of that right away quickly through all kinds of detox methods. So I work on everything, and I work on the energetic body of releasing traumas that can be stored in the body too, which is huge. And also fears can be stored in the body. So I work on the physical body and the emotional body. So that's why my liver detox program is so different.
Can you tell me and the audience a little bit about why the kidneys are so important and is such an important part of this liver detox program that you do?
Yes, because the kidneys are the second most important drainage point. So when the liver processes processes toxins rather, it makes a determination after it's processed it. Is it going to send those toxins out through the colon, through stool, or through bile, or is it going to send them through the kidneys? And if the kidneys aren't up to full throttle, they're going to send a signal saying, hey, I'm backed up. I'm not doing well. I'm weak. You better send it through the colon. So that can overburden the colon with too much. So the kidneys have to be open. People have to be urinating about every 90 minutes. So people should be very hydrated today. And a lot of people are not hydrated. Some people are drinking a little bit too much alcohol. They might have gotten overserved, and that's dehydrating. To everybody thinks about the liver, but they never really think about the kidneys, Casey. And the kidneys are really, 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 really important too. And because it's a drainage pathway and it's got to be open, it has to be open. People have to be urinating every 90 minutes if they're hydrated. So a lot of people also don't drink enough water today, so they don't stay hydrated, or they drink soda pop, which is very dehydrating, or they drink a lot of coffee all day, which is also dehydrating. So people are busy, they're working hard, they're rushing here, rushing there, this meeting, that meeting, picking up the kids, whatever they're doing, and they're grabbing that cup of coffee to give them energy,
Yeah.
but realize that it's actually dehydrating their kidneys.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, so see how there's so many factors that play into the kidneys, but also, yeah, mentioned if people get overserved with alcohol, which has happened a lot in the past 3 years because of the pandemic.
Mhm.
People have gotten into the habit of, the party starts on Wednesday night with alcohol instead of Friday or Saturday night. So just that extra can add an impact on the kidneys. And then also if people have gotten into drugs, I'm talking about, recreational drugs, and they've been on them, that can really, everybody always thinks about the liver, but the kidneys can take a beating too.
Mhm.
And little particles of those drugs, little sand teeny particles can stay in the kidneys for years if they're not detoxed out. And also, if people have been on medications, like pharmaceutical medications for a long period of time, like years, those can accumulate in the kidneys.
Wow.
And people realize that. Yeah. So little particles can accumulate, little sand particles, and then they can clump and cause kidney stones.
Wow.
Yeah. So people that think, oh, I take a medication, no big deal. It is a big deal. It
Mhm.
definitely is. There are repercussions. There's definitely side effects that, people have to realize. So all those factors play in the lack of hydration, too much coffee, too much alcohol, too much soda pop, overserved of alcohol. All those things play a role in the kidneys.
Okay.
So by the kidneys, people totally ignore them until they have a problem
Got you.
and wind up. It also can be an issue if people are getting up in the middle of the night, having to go urinate every couple of minutes. Every couple of hours, they're up in the middle of the night. That can happen too, and that's saying that the kidneys need to be cleansed out. So, or if it's men, it can be the prostate. And I have products that help to shrink the prostate into the correct size, get rid of that inflammation, and then they can go the whole night without urinating. I've helped hundreds of people with
Mm.
that. So if anybody has any urinary issues, it's a big deal. Also, mold, I'm into mold.
Yeah.
Mold can affect the kidneys too, because mold can be in the drainage pathway of the kidneys and
Mm.
hang out there because it's dark and it's moist, and that's what mold loves,
Yeah.
moisture and darkness. So if people have breathed mold in through their lungs like I did when I was in Egypt, I'm really doing a detox right now to get that mold out because I can feel it. I'm totally different from breathing in that mold.
Wow.
So I'm actually doing a kidney cleanse right now myself to make sure that I get that out.
Wow. Well, Nancy, I wanted to ask you about what foods that you would recommend to nourish the kidneys. But before I ask you that, you said before that we should be urinating every 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Does that mean we should be getting up when we go to sleep every 90 minutes to pee or
Oh, that's during the day I'm talking about.
during the day? Okay.
Good clarification, during the day only.
Okay, I see. All right. So now tell me about some of the foods that you recommend to nourish the kidneys.
Oh, sure. So celery. Celery is a power food for the kidneys, Casey. So, you live in New York, I'm sure. Celery juice, you can get it fresh pressed celery juice at a lot of the juice bars, or people can make it at home themselves. Power food for the kidneys. It flushes out toxins from the kidneys, and it can flush out viruses, bad bacteria. It's a power food. So it's really one of the greatest things. Some people don't like celery, but I always say just get over it. It has electrolytes in it, salt in it. It's really healthy for you. Also, cucumbers. So I always recommend to my clients to have some fresh, organic, raw cucumbers every day. They can put them in their water while they drink, or they can have them as a snack because those are very hydrating for the kidneys. Those are great. And another power food is dandelion greens. Dandelion greens are a power food for the kidneys because they help cleanse them out and help cleanse the liver too. So dandelion greens, people can put them in a juice. They can put them in a smoothie. They can saute them, with a little bit of spinach or something like that. If they don't like the bitter flavor, add some apple cider vinegar to take out a little bit of the bitterness. But those are a power food too. And then beets. Beets are excellent because they have so much nitrogen and they have so many good vitamins and minerals. They're a powerhouse for the liver, which everybody knows, but they're also a powerhouse for the kidneys. So beets, people can have roasted beets. They can have beets in a salad. They can have beet juice. There's so many different ways to have them. And another thing is berries. They have to be organic, though. They have to be organic. So raspberries, blueberries, strawberries, those are all excellent too because they're loaded with antioxidants. And then onions are really good because onions have a lot of I forget the word, but they're very, very, very good for the liver and for the kidneys. So, and then broccoli, and then lemons, and then limes, because those are very good citrus. And those activate both the bile flow and they activate for the flushing for the kidneys. They help to flush out. That's why I always recommend drinking lemon water all day long because it helps the liver and it helps the kidneys. So those are kind of the power foods, Casey, for the kidneys. They're great.
Okay. How about herbs? What herbs would you recommend to kind of cleanse and help the detox of the kidneys?
Yeah, so one thing that's a power one that it's a very common herb that everyone eats almost every day probably is parsley. And parsley, you can chop it up, put it in water, you can put it in a smoothie, put it in natural salad dressing, I put it in almost every recipe I make. Everything always has parsley in it. And then also fresh organic cilantro. Why cilantro? Because cilantro attracts heavy metals and binds to them. It's a binder for heavy metals. So
Mm.
if heavy metals are sitting in the kidneys or sitting in the liver, it binds to it. So you have to eat a lot of it, obviously, though. And a power one that everybody knows is milk thistle. I'm sure you've heard of it and
Yeah.
seen milk thistle tea. So that's something people can do every day. Have some milk thistle tea and also stinging nettles, which is another type of tea that people can buy. I put them both together. Or you can get a detox tea that has burdock root in it also, and then horsetail. So it's a combination of all those different herbs together in a detox tea and do that every day. And that way people are flushing out their kidneys on a regular basis.
Well, you mentioned teas. Can you mention some more kidney detox teas that you might recommend?
Oh, sure. So there's one called Kidney Strong Tea. It's literally, that's the name of it. And you can get it, almost any health food store will sell it. Also, nettle leaf tea. There's several different brands out there. And then juniper berries. They're teeny little mini, they almost look like a blueberry, Casey, but they're much smaller.
Mhm.
They're teeny tiny little berries. And you can put them in your tea and then sit them in your tea for about 15 minutes and then drink the tea down and it tastes good. They taste good. And then you can chew them up after the tea's done and they taste phenomenal. So juniper berries help to cleanse the kidneys also. They're a power food for the kidneys. So all those foods and herbs really help and
Okay.
they're easy to implement. It's simple. It's
Yeah.
not hard.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. Well, how about when we talk about kidney stones? Can that be a factor in the detox?
Yes, because if people are trying to detox the liver and the kidney is kidney stones, what kidney stones can do is block the drainage pathway. So it's trying to flush out these toxins and it can't because the drainage pathway is blocked
See.
by the stones or it's partially blocked by the stones. And then you get wind up with a lot of pain. People wind up with, oh boy, to kidney stone pain. I've never had them. My
I heard
husband
it's brutal.
does, and I've heard it's like a sharp knife in your kidneys, like really painful. So, and I have met people that have had actually bleeding of the kidneys because it's so painful.
Wow.
So, it's something we want to avoid. That's why I'm all about clean out those kidneys, clean out the liver to prevent those problems. But kidney stones can be formed by several reasons. I think I went into those a little bit before. Long-term use of medications,
Yeah.
long-term use of recreational drugs, long-term use of alcohol, those are all things that can cause kidney stones. Yeah.
Gotcha. How about, I mean, will you recommend if people have kidney stones that they should go to the doctor?
Yes, definitely. Absolutely. Definitely, I recommend them going to the doctor because then they can have a scan of their kidneys and see, first of all, do they have kidney stones? Is that what it is? And if so, how big are they?
Hmm.
Are they huge? How big are they? Because they can actually measure them. So I think that's really important. And then they may be put on a medication. It's up to them, whatever the doctor wants to do. But I always send them to the doctor for sure, always. But then if they want to work with me too, in addition to what the doctor's doing, I can give them some healing to break up those stones with herbs, because there are herbs that do that.
Yeah, I mean, because you told us about how kidney stones are formed, what causes them, but let me get into that because you just mentioned herbs. What herbs can help with the kidney stones?
Yeah, so there's actually an herb. I think it's an ancient herb that's been used for centuries, and I think it's from South America, and it's called Chanca piedra. Chanca piedra. And it can come in tea form, like a tea, or you can get it in a capsule form. And that actually has properties to break up the kidney stones and actually break them up. The only thing is, when you take that, it's actually called stone breaker. That's the name of the product. It breaks up those stones. But think of a stone, when you break it up, there's going to be sharp particles, right?
Yeah.
So you don't want those sharp particles puncturing the sides of your kidney, right?
Right.
So that's why it's really important to also be taking aloe vera leaf with it. Because aloe vera, you know how you can put it on your skin and it's like really good for sunburn
Yeah.
or cuts, and it's very soothing, has cooling properties and soothing properties. Well, it also has softening properties, so it can soften up the stones. So then they're easier after they're chopped up by the stone breaker. They're easier to have them come out and smoother. And then people can urinate them out, and it's not going to be, hard. It will be much easier. So softening that with the aloe vera leaf is really a critical part. And that's something that a lot of people miss, when they do the stone breaker. So I'm very thorough with everything I do.
I see that, and I know that we should probably do a part two of this because we're about out of time here. So let me give you the last word of anything that you want to leave us with, and then tell us how to get a hold of you. And then I know there's a whole bunch more information that you have for us, but maybe we'll do that next time. We'll continue on this next time. But let me give you the last word.
Okay, well, I'm Nancy Javaras, and I specialize in digestion and detox. And if anybody out there has kidney issues or liver issues, if anybody has gut issues or gut brain issues, I'd love to help you. Please give me a call. I've been doing this for many, many years, over 20 years, and I'm like a health detective, and I just want to be a messenger for good health to help anybody that wants to heal their body naturally. And I did it, and if I can do it, you can do it. So please give me a call at 508-527-4149. That's 508-527-4149. Or check out my liver detox program on my website. It's healthandweightlosscoach.com. That's healthandand weightlosscoach.com. Check it out or give me a call. I'd be happy to talk to you for 5 or 10 minutes for free.
Awesome, Nancy. Thank you so much. Can't wait to hear more about this. Okay, guys, we'll be right back. Stay right there.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you can now listen live on the MyTuner Radio and online Radio Box apps for iOS, Android, and the Amazon App Store. Or check us out online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com or search Podcast Business News Network on onlineradiobox.com/US so you don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, I mean, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.